Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Let people filter on through here. We're going to get a nice big group here. And Sabs, we got one question. If you could post that in the chat for me, please.
Sure.
All right, so we've got one. I think this is from Leah, right? All right. Question regarding XPath query. When trying to build multiple values from a path, in our example, boolean values, we get an output similar to false, 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 true based on the input. Is there a way to break these down individually in one step instead of pulling out single pieces of data in multiple steps? Okay. Not sure. So this is a question, I think. Is the question really about XPath? Like how to use the XPath step?
Yeah, so we've been using the XPath step, and if we put in individually, like the see where I have the example of XML input. If we put them in individually, it'll pull out the values, and we can kind of rename those, kind of save them off, so we can make some rules on them. But we wanting to know if there's an easier way to get output of multiple fields in one step instead of having to do XPath query step and then go to the next step, instead of having, like in this example, 4 different XPath query steps to name all the different outputs, to do it in one step. That might be more of an XPath query question instead of a decisions question, but yeah, it has to do with the output.
So right now the XPath step is only giving you, if it returns multiple, it cats it all together.
It does, and it doesn't have any like separators, so we can't really pull them apart in a step.
That's unfortunate. Because this comes from our discussion about using XPath to identify string JSON to XML and using XPath, right? From like two weeks ago or so, or that could be 10 months ago at this point, the way my dates go. Yeah, I can get XPath. Turning multiple values. Just a moment. I'm just looking up something about XPath to see here. I think this, I don't know if this is a okay, XML, bunch of words response, bunch of response. I get length for, oh, okay, this person's looping. Formatted output. It looks like it's doesn't, oh, does it, in these notes, it's looking like it's providing you the output with a comma separator, but you're saying it's concatenating them all together?
Yeah, it is on my side.
Yeah, I think probably this is probably something support can better help with.
Okay.
Because it's either there's a way to do it in XPath, or we're not respecting either. Yeah, there's probably like a for each select match root select X union Y slash X union Y slash a value of test equals not position equals last. There is this thing here. I'm gonna, might be worth a look, Leah. I'll put this link. I'm hardly an XPath expert. I've really used it like once, like 8 years ago. If you look here, this is the formatted output of this statement: green, blue, blue, green. From this XML, you can say it's pulling X's, so green,
Yeah.
blue, blue, green, and they have this thing here, and it looks like it's appending a comma in between each of these.
Nice.
So maybe this could help.
Yeah, I'm taking a screenshot.
Or you might like do, I bet there's like XPath, like online tester. Yeah, XPath and tester online. Yeah, you might just see if you can't work here in one of these tools instead of decisions, and then try it in decisions if you can get it to work, and see if decisions respects that output or not. And if it doesn't, we could treat that like a defect to get handled for you in a future release.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. Okay, and Radley is up next. Is it possible to loop through the fields non-labels in a tab container to clear the value? Like you have like a bunch of text boxes in a tab container?
Correct.
I mean, you can use an active form flow to set a null or empty value into anything that you'd like.
Right. I just have, I don't know, a dozen of these things. I didn't really want to have to create those and then have to remember every time I add a new field, or if somebody else adds a new field, that they have to go then add another set value step.
But
I can
so
pull
this
the
is
type. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say that you can select the type on a for each step. You can select the type and you can pull up form control data. I just don't see any way to get a collection of fields to put into that for each.
So you'd like to have all form controls.
Yeah.
And I see right now. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let's just go to a form. And we'll put a text box called ASDF here. Go to active form flows. And then if you look at our form rules here, what am I looking for? Form rules. You can get form data value and set form data value. Show multiple controls show. But like here, if we were to, you're using like set control value, right?
Right.
And then when you, let's just grab a for each as well. So in the collection, now maybe I can just do, well, that's form data. What does form data give me as an output? If I look at the output called items, form data, data explorer, item, form data, nothing. Oops, excuse me. So form data has inside of a text box. So I don't think we give you the ability to do this right now.
Okay.
I'm sure we can add this for you at some point. Like I'm sure that's a reasonable thing to want, like an array of all form control data. Let me ask really quick in case somebody can get me this answer. I don't think, looks like we can't do it.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure before I, create a set value for each field.
Let me ask this question while I answer some other questions. I
Okay.
just asked it in an internal chat and see if someone could answer that for me.
Okay, I'll hang on for a bit.
Okay.
Thanks, Paul.
All right, and Vitaly's next. I have an issue where I'm trying to assign a task in hard code and assignee. Then when I log in as that assignee and try to navigate to the assignment, it says it's not assigned to me. It's only for Okta accounts. Are you sure you're logging in as that account? If you try to impersonate that account, do you get the same issue?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going through. I can demonstrate it to you. So I'm going through the Okta, and I'm picking. So what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to pick an account using decision search. That account exists, and then when I'm going through the Okta authentication, I don't see any assignments. If I just navigate to the link, it says that it's not assigned to me.
You want to demo this, is what you're saying?
I can, yeah.
All right, let me make you a presenter.
Hey, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a simple form,
Mm-hmm.
and I just search that, so I can just go sign to search.
So there's
this
two
is-
accounts there. I just saw two accounts.
Yeah, but they are different. So and it doesn't really matter because they are different IDs, and they're. I've tried that on real Okta, so it doesn't really matter.
You tried it
So-
with an account that doesn't have a duplicate account and get the same behavior?
Yep.
Okay.
So that one is like a decisions account. That one
Mhm.
is Okta.
Right,
And
but
it
maybe
doesn't
it's,
really-
but maybe it's
Yeah.
like, maybe it does, maybe it's using the email address and it's assigning it to the other account.
We can test,
Right.
but yeah, we can test that. But I'm pretty sure it's not the case. So I'm gonna try to assign that. I can. So you say it may assign it to this account?
Uh-huh.
Nope.
Okay, so so you go to the logs and can I see what the actual log message is? Is it just that it's not showing up for you?
So I got this email from decisions, right? This is standard. So this guy just assigned it to myself. And this is from admin, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the link. If do you want to go to logs or do you want to see?
Well, I mean, yeah, go ahead, show it to me.
Yeah, so if I copy that, then I would go to incognito. And I go through Okta, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna log me in as that guy. So I don't see anything. I'm this guy.
Mm-hmm.
If I paste that link again, it says it's not assigned to me.
Okay. Let's go go back to kick out of here. go to query, run, let's just check the account IDs, get the account ID, go grab the account ID of both accounts really quick from the security folder.
Oh, so you want me to query the assign this one?
Hold on, I'm gonna give you, I just want the, just get the, I just find the IDs, just do like a select star from entity account where email address like Vitali.
Um,
Yeah, then here, run this query and put this in the chat here, then run that query. I'm not gonna be able to get past until I see the right account ID that you have two accounts with the same exact email, which you shouldn't be able to have. Even if you can get it, it's not supported. That's probably good enough. Just to put percents on either side of the, on the inside of each single tick. Okay, you have, okay, archive by, so make sure add the email address so we can see. Looks like there's a SAML. It's probably the two that are not archived, the two on the bottom. So 2.5. Oh man, what's the
so
bottom
this
one?
one and this one.
Hold on, let me see.
Yeah, so this one is decisions one, and this one is
Mhm.
7.
Right, so run that query. Copy that query from the chat window. I just pasted in there.
Mhm.
And then run that. So your SAML account's 2D5 and your password account's DA5. Hey, Riley, sure, I'll be happy to.
Where did they?
You able to copy that out of the chat window? Yeah, run that. Order by created, oh, hold on. Yeah, okay, order by assignment created on day, account ID is, that's 2D5. I don't see your local account there. Yeah, can you, yeah, I'm unsure, but I can't get past the fact that you've got two accounts with the same email address, which isn't supported at all in the platform, even if it's able to be done. So my advice would be to hard delete your local account, restart the server, run your whole test again and see if that does anything. Just because you can get two email address accounts doesn't mean that it's supported at all.
Well, the issue comes from this account, and it only has one. And this person has the same issue.
Yeah,
And this
then I'm
is
not,
Okta.
I mean, I know it's not just Okta accounts don't work. Like we have plenty of single sign-on and Okta accounts, you getting assignments. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not, it used to work. So if I go to the same thing and I want to assign to this guy, right? That works just fine. So I
It could
can
be
see
that
that.
It could be that the order that they
So
were
you-
added in.
To your point, if I assign that assignment should land somewhere, if I assign to Okta account, if that's misconfiguration, then it should go to this account, right?
That's misconfigured. It should, yeah, I know that we have users with single sign-on accounts receiving assignments.
Oh yeah, it used to
everywhere.
work last Friday.
What changed between then and now? Did
I don't
you,
know.
there was no version upgrade?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm not sure, man. We probably just need to treat this like a support ticket. But I can't get past the point that it works with 2 accounts. Like, that's just not supported.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I can't be more help there, but I mean, support can help with that, for sure.
Okay.
And I'm sure they'll come to me. And then we'll sort it out. But I know that, I know Okta accounts work, and then you can assign tasks.
Yeah, and they used to
100%.
work.
Yeah. Okay. All right, and Sabs, let me reshare my screen and we put Vitaly back as an attendee, please. And I'll figure out where to be. Here we are, right? Set control value. All right, and then let me get back into my chat. And so, all right, now Chris is up, looking for a good example, showing how to use the new and improved sub-dialog in decisions 7 and 8. Hey, Chris, I don't actually think there's a difference in sub-dialog between 7 and 8 that I'm aware of.
Okay, that confuses me. I know that when you have a sub-dialog, apparently I was trying to quickly search YouTube this morning and I only found one that said, I'm going to see that use legacy checkbox.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so the presenter, who was apparently a decisions fan rather than decision support, made the comment of if he will be using the use legacy. But then it made me scratch my question about, well, with the so-called, I call them steps. I think the toolbox was calling them rules for being able to fiddle with form. The legacy, I mean, in decision 6, when you have a sub-dialog, it would have these input flow data that you would have to specify, and then output flow data that you would try to connect by data name to an output, and usually that worked, but sometimes you missed. So that
Right.
I always thought that was kind of clunky.
Yeah,
so I
for
was actually hoping for a different mechanic in how these sub-dialogues work. So to hear you say they work the same makes me then wonder, well, input, output, those did not change, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some information for you. I don't, like if I don't use legacy. Interesting. So, all right, edit sub-dialog rule flow. So it's gonna give me an active form flow. Maybe it just turns into an active form flow that can show an actual form. And then I can use active. Let me just see here. Let's figure this out. Let me create a form. I believe someone's confirming for me, but I think use legacy uses the old pattern where it would show you the form output, it'd show you the names, and then you could bind the property names like to the text boxes, right?
Right. And like I say, our success, we found that mechanic has its limits.
Yeah, it can get tricky on complicated forms, that's for sure. So let's see here, let's delete this. Here's our form. If we debug this, all right, and I click sub-dialog, there's my other form. I can close that. So let's duplicate our tabs here. It looks like, sorry, this is me having to just catch up a bit. I think it might just leverage an active form flow pattern. So I'm in the form, I'm in the sub-dialog form here. So let me go to folder view and hidden, excuse me. All right, and here's sub-dialog rule flow. And so let me see here, Data Explorer, form data. So do I get the parent folder? It uses the old done. There's no form data input variable in the form. The rules have to change. Parent forms controls in the new way. there's a text box here. So let me come to my parent form. And I'm going to add a drop-down list. And this is going to be type account. And display field will be email. And the list input source will be data name. It's the same way in active form flow. Okay, interesting. List items data name is all accounts. Okay, so here's my active form flow. Let me back out. Let me come in again. Now, if I look at form data, I get the combo box, and the combo box is an account. Okay, so I guess I don't think I have a good video here for you, Chris, but what it's doing is using, so in Data Explorer under form data, it's giving you the current forms, it's giving you the parent form data. So this form data comes from the parent form of the sub-dialog button,
Which is logical.
which means that now I can use form rules and I can set control value on the parent form. So if I come set control value and I'll pick form data text box, and then I'm going to set the value to what comes from my text box here. In fact, what I'll do is select form data text box value as the input. So if this runs, let me save this. Let me go back to my parent form here, my sub-dialog flow. Let's save this. Let's debug this. So what I should see is if I type in ASDF and click this, it's going to show here. And if I do 1 and click submit, it's going to update the value on the parent form. Yeah, okay, this is actually a lot better than it was before.
Yeah, I was, like I said, I did, when I was looking for sub-dialog video examples, they went back to either release 6 or a different format. And I have a coworker who seemed to get confused with what I would call the, with how these would work in class, which I found thinking, well, if I were doing this, I would want to be able to access the parent form controls and be able to access them and then set them just like an ordinary active form flow, because that solves so many confusions.
For sure.
And so many of, like, our occasional, what I call the missed data name problem.
Right, exactly. And it does do that. So here's sub-dialog flow. In this example, they are showing you how to do the new way or the old way. Get all, add new account, get by ID, add item to list. Why are we using a list here? Edit, last name. Okay, this example is ridiculous. Get all, so. Yeah, let me get the docket updated here. Yeah, okay, so does that give you clarity for your initial question, Chris? I need to get this document
I think it
updated.
does. I think it tells me that how I got a coworker telling me, well, there's the legacy way, and seemed to be a fan of it, and I'm saying, well, no, that's a mistake, because we've done plenty of those in decision 6, and I want to see the other way.
Yeah, I think the big thing is it creates the non-legacy way, creates an active form flow, and then that flow is a private flow, which means it gets access to the parent flow data automatically and is hidden from edit outside of the form itself. I just sort of went and used hidden just so I didn't have to click through the whole form.
Right,
And
but
then
more
you can
importantly, yeah, we get these these new
Right.
step rules here that let me then mutate the parent form rather directly, instead of trying to set up a Rube Goldberg machine to make it all work.
Exactly. Yep. Nope. Yeah. So does that, hopefully that gives you clarity there, and I'm gonna get some of our docs updated to be better here.
Yeah, that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet, man. Happy to help. All right, and who else has got questions? That's all for the current question queue. So if you've got anything else, please let me know. Nothing on the loop controls question yet, Chris. No one from the service team is replying to me. He says if an inform session sets URL parameters, inform session navigate. Sure. Just a second here. All right, inform session navigate. Let's see here. Let's create a flow. And let's find ourselves an inform. Spell right. Inform session. Okay. And option would be navigate. And so folder ID and page name, swap these. All right, and then let me create a folder here. Okay. And we'll add, why don't we just add a page to it called ASDF, and we'll pick a page. All recent, I have other, all, there you go, dynamic questionnaire, perfect. Okay, so let me pull the folder ID out. And boom, and my page name should be ASDF. So let's see if I save this, and oh man, look at that, wonderful. Let me flow 2, if I run this, it should send me to that page, so that works. So here's flow 2, inform session step, specify parameters. We're gonna add one called test1, type string, and the value of this will be ASDF. Okay, and I will right click and run flow 2, be navigated, and do not have a URL, at least a URL parameter.
Hey, well, can you try something simple like Chrome off?
Yeah, sure. As one of my parameters.
Yeah, so Chrome is part of the decisions thing. And just set it to off.
Let me save this. Okay, no, not getting used. I know if we do this, if we build up a custom URL, I'm
Is it
sure
a
we can
bug?
do this. That seems like a bug, yeah. I think parameters are URL parameters, but this step's so old, they might not actually. Let's just see if we select retain parameters. I don't know what that does, but it's worth it to try. Oh, there you go. Chrome equals off. Interesting. And action equals edit. Huh.
But it doesn't switch Chrome to off.
You're right, because it's navigating in the portal. I think you need to
Ah.
use open URL. I don't think it's forcing I think you'd have to do like open URL. And then do like this. Let's just make sure. Yeah, because if you do open URL, you should be able to get open a new window, false URL constant. I'm not sure that that behavior is a bug. If I run this, sorry, run, it'll do that. You can get the same behavior with open URL. I don't think appending Chrome equals off and then to a navigate is like a supported parameter, even if you're able to use it. It's expecting you to just move around in the portal, not change the portal itself. So that could, I mean, it could be a bug, but you can definitely do that behavior just using open URL with open a new window set to false and build up use string manipulation to build up your.
Yeah, I do have a workaround. I just want to see if that's a bug or that's expected.
I feel like that's expected, Vitaly. Like you could argue that it's not, but I don't think the navigation action is expected to check and apply like special
Well,
parameters.
if that's expected, then I'll test it on the like a report filter. If that will change the report, then that should
Now
be
the
expected.
parameters piece I'm unsure about here. Like if these, well, you
That
can get
should
the
be like
parameters to show.
yeah, that should be like a page
Yeah.
parameter.
Yeah,
So if we
So-
have like a Chrome filter on the report, that should change that.
it should, yes.
Okay, next.
Okay, what other questions we got? We got a big group today, so if there's other questions, please let me know. Don't feel like you have to type it out. If you just want to use the raise hand feature, I'm happy to just unmute you and we can chat through the question that you might have. Anything from anybody? Okay, I'll consider that done. And I will ask Kimlin to follow up with Radley. Okay. All right, thanks everybody. Appreciate the questions today and see you same time tomorrow. Have a great afternoon.